As you can probably see, I've had to come into the kitchen for the experiment this afternoon, and you might say, well, why is this? And the reason is the chicken. My wife wants to cook that for the evening meal, and in order to do that, she needs to know how heavy it is. But the difficulty there is that our kitchen scales, which are on here, will only register up to 1 kilogram. I think you can see that this chicken is more than a kilogram. So I'm going to resort to physics and specifically to the principle of moments. Now I've got a block of wood at that end, another little block of wood at this end, and a broom handle. I'm going to put the broom handle on here, and I've got to check first of all the reading on here, which is actually 125 grams. Now don't be bothered that it's actually grams, because I'm going to use grams for the readings on both sides of the equation. So that's 125 grams. Now to set the whole thing up properly, here's the chicken. And here's the tricky bit. I've got to thread the chicken through there so that it hangs from the broom handle. And I put it on that end very carefully, and also that end carefully. Good. So now for the principle of moments. The distance between the pivot and the balance reading multiplied by the balance reading will be equal to the distance from the pivot to the chicken multiplied by the mass of the chicken, the thing we want to find. So this distance, I've measured it before, but I'll check it, is a metre. So the distance along there from the pivot to my balance is exactly a metre, and the reading on the balance is 953 grams. But remember that we've already had a reading of 125 before I put the chicken on, so we've got to take that off from there, and I make that a reading due purely to the chicken of 828. Now the mass of the chicken multiplied by that distance, which I've now got to measure, and that distance is actually 60 centimetres. I'm not measuring to the nearest millimetre, to a centimetre is good enough. So now for the mathematics. So balance reading 828 multiplied by 100 equals that, divided by 60 times the mass of the chicken, and it's the mass of the chicken we're trying to find out, so that will give us an answer of 1,380 grams, or 1.38 kilograms. So that's good. My wife can now go away and cook the chicken because she knows exactly how much it weighs. It's a good method because actually I have cheated here, because if I take the chicken off here and turn it over, according to the butchers, they reckon that instead of 1.38 kilograms, they say its mass is 1.35. So 1.35, they say, we reckon it's a 1.38 chicken. There's a little bit of mass in the tray. So the experiment has not only proved successful, it's actually proved pretty accurate.